What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to D&E TAKEOVER, episode 207 of D&E TAKEOVER. I'm your host, David Rodriguez. Eric, unfortunately, could not make it today, but it is his sister's birthday, so I want to give a shout-out to Erica Hines. Happy 24th birthday, her Kobe year. Just happy birthday to her. Hope she has a great day. And, yeah, without further ado, though, we already got comments in the building. We got Knives right here right now. What's up, Dave? What's up, Knives? What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for popping out. Appreciate you. You know, Knives, I know you heard this, and I'm going to brag about it all show. I mean, not brag about it. We already knew something was going to happen with this, but Dalvin Cook to the Jets. I mean, I'm going to list the topics that we're going to talk about, but Dalvin freaking Cook to the Jets. If the ice cream couldn't get more better, and I know that's not right English. How do I make that better? How do I make that more English? If the ice cream couldn't get more delicious, that's better right there. So I don't know if anyone heard, but Dalvin Cook is going to the Jets. I'm going to list the rest of the topics we're going to talk about for the show. And yeah, the list goes on. But nice, as he said, so the Lions beat the Giants twice in 10 months. But you know what? Like, I give you the props on the first one, even though I think it's a little BS, a little rigged, but whatever. We'll let that slide. This one, though, I don't really care. It's preseason. It's preseason, dude. Preseason. But yeah, I mean, congratulations, I guess, to the Lions. I mean, listen, all I'm going to say, Knives, and I'm 100% confident in this, the Giants are going to finish with a better record than the Lions. The Giants might even win the division. And I say this now because I know Eric is not here, so he won't be like, oh, it's so ridiculous, because it probably is a ridiculous statement. But I will stand by it because it's most likely going to happen, because I've been watching a lot of tape of this offseason, the New York Giants, and boy, oh boy, do they look freaking good. Like, they look so nice. Like, I don't know why, like that Jalen Hyatt to Daniel Jones connection, that thing looks amazing. Darren Waller, Saquon looks nice. Even Daniel Jones are saying he looks like Vanilla Vic, bro. Like, he looks good. He might be a top 5 quarterback. I'm probably just blowing a bunch of steam right now. I'm just so happy, but we'll see what happens. But Knives says, yeah, you just destroyed Breece Hall, my guy. No, hear me out. So we're just going to get right into it. If anyone didn't hear the news, it just broke like literally 10, 15 minutes ago. Dalvin Cook to the Jets. I want to give a round of applause to Dalvin Cook because he is in New York. He's in freaking New York. We love that. Or New Jersey, because they play in New Jersey. But anyway, he's at the Jets. He signed a 1-year, $8 million contract. Overall, pretty good deal. All I'm going to say, Knives brought up you destroyed Breece Hall. Here's my thoughts, because I had a similar thought back in like a couple episodes ago. You can go check that out when we talked about Dalvin Cook going to the Jets. I understand that, but it all depends on how healthy Breece Hall is. I mean, like, he just came back. He's just coming back from an ACL injury. Like, ACL tears are they're a very tough injury to recover from, especially when you're out for a whole year. Getting back into the mojo with football is going to take a while for him to heat up. I think a lot of Jets fans are expecting that. We're not expecting Breece Hall to be, off the bat, going to rush for 1,000 yards, 100 yards in a game. I think it's going to take a limited amount of carries the first couple of games, and I think adding Dalvin Cook for that reason is a massive addition. And plus, it's only a 1-year deal, so it's not like we're locked in long-term with a guy who's 28 years old, going to be 29 next season. And, like, the fact is we still have our youth in Breece Hall. So I like a lot of positives. The positive is a 1-year deal for freaking Dalvin Cook. The other positive is we don't have to keep him long term. Another positive is Breece Hall is coming back from a major injury, so we let Dalvin Cook take some of the workload in the beginning, and then while they do like a type of Dallas Cowboys situation back when with Zeke and Tony Pollard. I think that would work tremendously for the Jets, and now it makes their run game even more two-dimensional. You had Breece Hall and you had Michael Carter at the receiving end. Now you got Breece Hall and you got Dalvin Cook. 2 top running backs, in my opinion. So overall, I think it's a massive signing. But guys, comment down below an unbiased opinion, because that's my unbiased opinion. Do I think that we needed him? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it helps. It helps. It's like adding more fuel to the fire. But guys, comment down below. Do you think it was smart for the Jets to get Dalvin Cook? I know Knives is already saying no, but we'll see what happens. But we do have another comment. It's from Cultural Controversial Podcast. There you go, guys. If anyone knows, shout out to them. Thanks for popping out. Appreciate you guys. But overall, if anyone has been on this show knows that I am undiagnosed dyslexic, so I cannot read. No, this is all just jokes. But honestly, I can't read. I can't pronounce words. I don't even know why I'm doing a podcast, to be serious, you guys. Like, overall, I can't speak my words. I can't read the words. And yeah, I don't know. It just happened. But thanks for popping out. You appreciate you guys. So hit that like button. Thank you, my dude. And you heard the boy. You heard him. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this content, and it helps push out to more people on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching this. So thank you. Thank you, my guy. Mario said, oh, Mario's in the building. What's going on, Mario? What's going on? He said, let's go, Jets, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You know, this is so good. You know, that, you know, Mario's going to bring up this next point. What's up, David? Where's that hater, Eric? You know, it's obviously his sister's birthday, so we already did shout out to Erica Hines, but that's why he's not here. But overall, guys, Mario brought up a good point. This podcast today is all about New York love. Okay? New York Jets love. And we don't have Eric the hater to bash on the hope and the dreams of us Jets fans or Giants fans, because I root for both. So I'm just telling you guys. I'm just telling you. No, but I'm kidding. Mario said, Dalvin freaking Cook, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Now it says it's not too bad a take. They got some problems in the secondary. They can pull off 11 wins. All right, fair enough. He's talking about the Giants. This is the question I had recently. Yeah, I think they can get 11 wins too. Where are we going? Okay, now it says, also, why does no running back want to go to the Buffalo? Kareem Hunt is the last option unless they want to give up everything for Josh Jacobs. That's a fantastic point, because we talked about this a couple episodes back, is the fact that the Buffalo Bills still have signed no running back. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know who's on their roster running back. I think it's Hines, not Eric Hines, Naheem Hines or something. I think he's still on the roster. Or Dalvin Cook's brother, James Cook. Like, that's the only running backs they have. And you look at that Buffalo Bills offense, and the thing that would make them take to another level is if they signed a really good running back. They had Dalvin Cook. They just lost their hopes with Ezekiel Elliot. Like Knife says, they got Kareem Hunt. He's up to deck. And if they don't get him, I think they're gonna be struggling. They're gonna be struggling. It's not in the regular season, because I still think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna be struggling when it comes to divisional round, AFC Championship, because that's when the mistakes have to be little. You know what I mean? You can't, there's no room for mistakes. And the fact is that one-dimensional offense like the Buffalo Bills has, and we've seen it year after year, like they've never made it to a Super Bowl appearance with that much talent on a team. And I think a big part of it is because of the fact that they don't have a run game. Everyone has been seeing it. But yeah, they got to get something done, because that's ridiculous. I just can't understand, as a Bills, even if a Bills Mafia fan, they understand that they need a run game. Protect Josh Allen, because he's getting hit way too much out of the pocket. So overall, GMs, we already talked about you. I don't think they're going to trade for Josh Jacobs, though, because Josh Jacobs is going to be a lot to give up. And I don't think Buffalo should do that, if that makes any sense. But I did see Kansas City Chiefs name pop up for Josh Jacobs. And if they do that, guys, I'm sorry, that's sad trombones for the rest of the league. Because the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the league. And there's hands down, I don't think anyone can argue that. But the fact is like, now that they add an elite running back and Josh Jacobs, in my opinion, top 3 running back in the league, that's a big issue, because not only do you have to worry about Patrick Mahomes and his magic, you got to worry about Josh Jacobs and his run game. So that would be insane. And that offensive line, oh my gosh. Honestly, if we know anything about the Kansas City Chiefs, guys, they would actually pull that off and like give away like a 2nd-round pick and Kadarius Toney for that. And we'll be like, what? Like, this is when you start thinking that football is rigged, because there's no way, because they would get away with that stuff. But Mario said, Brees needs time for his ACL. This is a great signing, but haters will always hate. That's what I'm talking about. Brees came back from a major injury. ACL tears are no joke. And the fact is, you need someone else to put up a higher workload. It's just common sense. Brees Hall, by week 5, week 6, I'm expecting him to be at least taking the same amount of reps as Dalvin Cook, if not a little more. But in the beginning, you got Dalvin Cook for that. He said that, of course, the Jets are going for it. 100%. Now says, my question for the Jets: What do you do next year when Aaron Rodgers retires after going 8-9 and Cook gone? You ruin your QB situation and you ruin your running back of the future. Nah, bro, because listen, Brees Hall's still under contract. This is his 2nd year going into it, so he still has another 2 more years off on the rookie deal. So we don't have to pay him yet. And also, if Aaron Rodgers does retire, we got Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. No, but like Zach Wilson, he's been doing pretty good. under the development of Aaron Rodgers. We just hope that after 1 year with Aaron Rodgers, that Zach Wilson would be phenomenal. He's looked good in the preseason. I give him that, but then again, it is preseason. But overall, I do agree with the quarterback situation. Aaron Rodgers retires, you're back to the same problem that you had last year, where you were not a playoff team. You had Mike White. You had 3 quarterbacks playing in the season. It was just a disaster. But hopefully it doesn't happen, and we keep Aaron Rodgers for at least 2 years. Zach Wilson develops. That's in the utopian society, guys. That's in like the movie picture, the happy ending. But we'll see what happens. Wait, no, we did this one. So shout out to Erica Hines. Happy 22nd birthday. No, it's 24th birthday, but shout out to Erica Hines. Happy birthday. 24th. Their Kobe birthday. Get it? 24. But Nice says, I also stand on the Dalvin Cook is washed hill by myself. We shall see. Yeah, but now that's like a biased statement though. Because I've seen games where Dalvin Cook is rushed over your Detroit Lions. And listen. I know I'm getting a lot of boos right now because of me being a hater for some reason. But overall, it's just facts. Dalvin Cook is not washed. He's 28 years old. He finished 6th in rushing yards in the NFL last season. So overall, he still has some gravy. And it'd be exciting. He's not washed. He could probably, I think he's going to regress more than last year. But it's not going to be to a point where he's going to fall outside the top 10. I think he's still going to be a top 10 running back. But that's just because you're a Lions hater, bro. It's okay. But Nice says, hear me out. Zach Wilson and 2 second-round picks for Trey Lance. Nice. You know, out of all the quarterbacks in that draft that I don't like, Trey Lance is probably number 1 on that list. I don't think he's that good. We've seen it in the preseason. He's not in the right decision. So with that take, I'm going to have to boo that. The people are booing that. Because there's no way in hell I would trade Zach Wilson for 2 second-round picks for Trey Lance. Because even though Zach Wilson might not be as valuable right now, I still think he's a better quarterback than Trey Lance. I mean, he's played more games. I think that's more important. Experience. Trey Lance has done nothing except get injured and be a second-string quarterback. And most likely, he's going to lose the second-string job to probably Sam Darnold this year. Let's be real. And at that point, if Trey Lance loses the second-string job, he's not going to be in uniform next year. It's not going to be a conversation of, ooh, the 49ers situation. Can Trey Lance still prove his worth? Like a situation with like Jordan Love. It's like, oh, he's in his last year of his rookie deal. He's got to prove it. I don't even think he's going to have a chance, Trey Lance. I just think, me personally. But guys, you guys think, comment down below. Will Trey Lance stay with the 49ers? Or will he ever play as a starting quarterback in the NFL? That's an interesting take because I think that's a very underrated question that everyone's kind of sleeping on. But Mario said, at Nice, seriously, dude, would you be saying that Cook is washed if he signed with the Lions? LOL. He said, I saw Dalvin Cook last game against the Lions with his 2 fumbles. Yo, that's just 1 game. I'm talking about like he's been on the Vikings for what, his whole career. Come on. Knives. No, I'm sorry, Mario said Knives. Aren't you a Lions fan? Exactly. Stop it. I mean, listen, you can think Cook is washed. You have every argument to pretty much to think. I don't agree with it, but I understand it because he's 28 years old, getting to the end of his prime in terms of running back ages. A running back's career at an elite level basically typically lasts like 4 to 5 years. So, like, that being said, I do understand like that he's not going to be elite because his time frame might be up. But overall, I think in this sense for the Jets, I still think Dalvin Cook has a lot left in the tank, at least for this year. I think he's a top 10 running back. After this year, he will be a top 10 running back. I mean, he already is, but he will cement himself again to be a top 10 running back. And also, they signed him for a 1-year deal, which there's no, how do I say it? There's no commitment to anything in the future, which I think is smart because you already have a future in running back. But Nice says, yes, I would. I say, why the hell did we sign David Montgomery? Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? They just like, I guess you're lying. Nice. Hear me out. The Lions love their division so much that they're going to trade or sign free agents that are in their division because they love getting players from other teams that have already beat the Lions. I'm just saying. They like to get players that already beat their team. You never heard the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. That's what the Lions do. So we can't beat them, so we're gonna take them on our team. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Knives. I'm kidding. They look good. The line, out of all respect, I do mess with Knives. And anyone doesn't know Knives around here, shout out to Knives. Appreciate him. But he's a Lions fan. So we have a little bit of a bicker of a back and forth. He'll trash my Jets and I'll trash his Lions. He'll trash my Giants. I'll trash his Lions. It's just back and forth, friendly fire in a sense. So overall, now all respect, but the Lions do look freaking great. I will say that. I have them projected to win the division. So I can't even bash them this year. I can't even. But Jonathan's in the building. What's going on, John? Yo, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Knives says, Cook is washed, bro. Don't believe me. Just watch it happen. I don't believe it. He has, at least for this year. He's a one contract deal. He said, okay. Notice we didn't touch Cook though, because we don't do Washington, Detroit. Stop it. I would rather take Dalvin Cook over David Montgomery, and you know that. And I know you're a hater, but that is so true. You would rather take Dalvin Cook over David Montgomery, not because of the former teams, because of skill wise. I would back that statement 100%. Quick little water break, guys. Damn, my throat's already getting dry. Oh, we love it. Going back to the Jets. Obviously, he signed a 1-year deal. I already made my thoughts about it. I think it's going to be it's a good addition. Was it necessary? No, because the team's already stacked and Breece Hall is so good. Is already. Hopefully, Breece Hall is healthy by week 1 and he will grow to the number 1 role. But it helps out and it takes less of a workload in the beginning of the weeks off of Breece Hall, so he can get fully healthy. So overall, if I had to grade this signing, I give it a B or a B plus, because it was not necessary. But the thing is, he's still a great talent, and they got him for $8 million. So the fact is, like, hey, he still can be a tremendous addition to the team. And like I said, add more fuel to the fire. Why not? Let's see this one. Mario said, yeah, you don't do wash, but you do lots of losing in your history, LOL, just like my Jets. Mario, that was smart. You bashed his team while also saying, hey, you can't bash my team because I'm already bashing it myself. That's smart. I don't know if anyone ever saw 8 Mile with Eminem, that movie with 8 Mile, but Eminem did the same thing. He basically said, I'll talk bad about myself and then I'll trash your team. So when you can't talk bad about me. I love that movie. I don't know if anyone has ever watched 8 Mile, but if you haven't, so good. Nye says, yeah, I actually like the Jets. Sauce went to my high school. No, he not. I think, have you told us this before, Knives? Comment down below. I think you did tell me this, but overall, like, I'm still shocked. Sauce went to my high school. Mekhi Becton is a guy I want in Detroit, but Dalvin Cook's time is over. Fair enough, Knives. Fair enough. I can't, after you just gave a comment, Sauce went to your high school. I mean, I don't want to say what your high school is, but if you don't mind, that'd be cool. But Mekhi Becton, he's a dog, but he's just fat. I'm sorry. Like, he's got to take better care of himself and his weight, and hopefully this year he can actually produce to his potential. Because the guy coming out of the draft, and particularly after his first year, he looked like he would be one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. And then he got fat, and then he never took care of his body, and then he missed a year with injury, and then he just, I think he basically pulled the Zion in a sense. Shout out to Zion. But overall, he has so much potential. And the fact is, we'll see how he does this year. Because if he does, it's kind of cheesed because he's up for a contract, I believe, next year or this offseason. So, like, if he has a tremendous year, it's going to be like, do you pay him top tier money, even though he's been out for like 2 years in a row? Like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Mario said, just let me glow for once on my Jets life. LOL. You know what? I respect it. Because I love the gloat. I love the gloat if they win the Super Bowl. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you don't know Eric, he doesn't hate the Jets, but he doesn't like Jets fans in general or New York fans in general in terms of football. If I see a Jets and Giants Super Bowl, guys, you will never hear the end of it from me. And I'll just be like, oh, in Eric's face. He probably skipped the week of the podcast, honestly, because I just keep on going into it, having a great time, just, embracing what happened. But yeah, actually, fun little thing, guys. Comment down below if you want to. What are your Super Bowl predictions for this year? Who are the two teams, one from the AFC, one from the NFC, that are going to the Super Bowl this year? And let's see how that matchup is. Because overall, I'll give you mine if you guys give me yours, because I want to hear these thoughts. Now I said yes, King High School in Detroit, Michigan. He was one of the teams that won state. Damn, look at that. Look at that. That's a round of applause. There we go. Shout out to Detroit, Michigan. And also shout out to Nice for giving the high school. Appreciate you. Anyway, moving on from one running back to another one. I don't know if anyone else saw this today, but it happened recently today as well. Ezekiel Elliot signs with the Patriots. I don't know if you guys care or not. I mean, if we talk about a running back that's washed, I think Ezekiel Elliott is more washed than Dalvin Cook. If that's your argument of him being washed, I think Ezekiel Elliott is more washed than Dalvin Cook. But Ezekiel Elliott signed a deal with the Patriots for a 1-year, $6 million deal. And I think $2 million with incentives. So like I think it would go up to $8 million overall. Ezekiel Elliott, is it really a big deal that he goes to the Patriots? I'm gonna be honest, you guys. I don't think it makes this team any. I mean, it makes them a little bit better on the run game terms, but their run game is already better. Let me put in this perspective. Their run game last year with Ramondre Stevenson was a great run game. That was probably the highlight of their offense was their run game. I know Ramondre, he brought a lot of fantasy points for certain teams in fantasy last year. So like overall, you're looking at it. Ramondre Stevenson was a big part of that run game. I'm forgetting the other guy's name. They had like basically two running backs that were key guys in the New England Patriots. They're top, the keys for the offense. You say if you got to give an MVP award for the offense of the New England Patriots, it would probably go to Ramondre Stevenson in the run depth and the running back depth. So adding Ezekiel Elliott is kind of confusing because the fact is, it goes back to situations like, don't you want Ramondre to grow in that running back? Oh, Damian Harris. Sorry, Damian Harris is the other one. It just popped in my head. Like, don't you want those two running backs to grow with your team? And the fact is that they worked so well last year and like the year before, like they have a lot of potential. And the fact is you get Ezekiel Elliott. I think this is a little bit more unnecessary than the Jets signing Dalvin Cook. Now, in terms of impact, will Ezekiel Elliott have an impact? Yes, of course, Ezekiel Elliott have an impact. I'm going to list some stats that he had in the last year of the 2022 season. He had played 15 games. He started 14. He had 231 attempts, and he rushed for 876 rushing yards, and he had 12 touchdowns, a big part, 12 touchdowns. And if anyone know the Dallas Cowboys situation last year, Tony Pollard was taking a lot of the reps away from Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott turned into a third down power goal line powerhouse in terms of that running back scheme. And Tony Pollard was basically the guy who does everything else. But Ezekiel Elliott almost rushed for 1,000 yards. If he played probably the whole season, he could have potentially rushed for 1,000 yards. So Ezekiel Elliott, he's still good. He's still a good running back. Is he top 5 running back? Hell no. He was top 5 back in 2016. He was actually number 1 back in 2016 in terms of running backs. But overall, you're looking at it. Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots. How much does this improve their team? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it improves them that much. If anything, if we got to go based on I don't know, out of 100, and 100 being a complete change and everything will flip over, and 0 being, I mean, obviously being nothing, I think this changed like probably 10% or less. Because of the fact it's like I already told you, their running game was already good before this. And now their main problem was receiver depth or getting a number 1 wide receiver for Mac Jones or whoever the hell the quarterback is, Bailey Zappi. And the fact is they still haven't gotten that. I think they got Devontae Parker, but that guy's been washed for the last couple of years. But like they signed an area where they already had help instead of signing an area that they don't. So with that being said, if they would have signed a wide receiver, a good wide receiver, I would be like, okay, that's a little bit more to watch. But they signed a running back in terms of a team that already has depth at the running back position. So overall, I'm going to say they're still going to finish last in their division. They're probably still going to have a losing record. But Ezekiel Elliott, he could go off and have a good year. But we'll see what happens. And guys, comment down below. Will the New England Patriots become better after this? After this freaking what do you call it? After signing Ezekiel Elliott, will he become better? Or is it one of those things where it's like, you know, it is what it is, whatever. They're in the AFC East, you know what I mean? Comment down below. But we got some comments back on the Super Bowl predictions, and I'm excited to hear this one because let's just get into it. Now it says Bengals versus 49ers, top offense versus top defense. Very interesting. Round of applause to that. I like that. I was surprised. I thought he was gonna put a Bengals. I thought he was gonna put the Lions in there, but I respect that. Bengals versus 49ers. I feel like in terms of the 49ers, they always like make it out of the NFC. They're guaranteeing an NFC championship game. because of the fact of how weak the NFC is. Even though it looks better this year than last year, it's still like their defense is just so good. And Brock Purdy is he's just consistently good in a sense. Like he's not super talent, but he's not like terrible. He's like good. He's like good. There you go. And he does what he has to do in that run game with CMC. Like they're always contenders for the NFC. So I respect that out of the NFC. The Bengals out of the AFC, top offense, very interesting. I understand that they're going to be one of the best offenses in the league, but I don't think they're going to be the best. I still think Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the best. I think it's going to go Kansas City Chiefs, Jets, Bengals, Bills, whoever you want to fill in the blank, Dolphins, whatever. I think those are going to, sorry, the Ravens. Put the Ravens before the Dolphins. Shout out to Eric for the Ravens take. But overall, I think the Bengals one is also good because they're a team that made the Super Bowl in the past. They forget it. They're not made it. I mean, they made the Super Bowl in the past. So overall, like they can go again and they'll get redemption maybe. Mario said Jets versus Giants. LOL. I would sign up for this now. 100%. All I'm gonna say is that I need to start doing these parlays in terms of like DraftKings, whatever the hell they do it, and like predicting the Super Bowl. Because if I ever get a Jets and Giants Super Bowl, the odds on that would be absolutely terrible. I mean, this year it's better in terms of the Jets stance, and the Giants is a little bit better than previous years. But like overall, like it's still not the top pick. So if you put $10 down on that, I don't know what the odds are, but if you put $10 down on that Super Bowl, you're probably coming home with some big, at least 5 figures. I think that's safe to say. I don't know, but I do like that. I hope it's. I always say that. I always hope that it's. What do you call it? I always hope for a New York Super Bowl, Jets and Giants. But then again, as a New York fan, I wouldn't know who to root for. I just watch the game and see whatever happens. But like in realistic terms, if I'm really looking at it, it's really hard. It's really hard. I gotta look at these teams real quick because the NFC got a little bit better in terms of competition, and there's a lot of teams that are still they're slowly getting better and have young talent. The AFC, I already have it locked, guys. It's gonna be the freaking Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jets in the AFC Championship, unbiased. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna win just because Patrick Mahomes is that good. I really have faith in Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, that defense. Hopefully, Chris Jones comes back after missing out on camp. But overall, their team is just that good. And they've been with each other for so long. Like, they know how to win. They have experience. They have leaders. Even if they get rookies on the team. We saw Isaiah Pacheco last year having tremendous games in the playoffs as a rookie. So, like, overall, like, who's to say that this team can't win? I don't know. I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. NFC-wise, though, I'm looking at these lists. It could be the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, again. I mean, I don't know, bro. Honestly, it's between probably the 49ers and the Eagles. And that's probably so boring because we're probably going to have a rematch of last year. But I really do think in the NFC chance, because like if we got to go list by list, right? Sorry, in the NFC East, the Commanders, hell no. They're not going to make the Super Bowl. The Giants, I'm sorry. The farthest they're probably going to hopefully get is the divisional round. I do have hope for them, but the divisional round is probably going to be the farthest they go. Dallas Cowboys, get the hell out of here, eliminated first round. The Eagles, top team, make the Super Bowl. Now in the NFC North, Lions, they're going to be a great team. I give them 1 or 2 wins in the playoffs max. And I think that's safe to say. Green Bay Packers, no, they're not going to make it. Chicago Bears, if they slightly make it off a wild card, they're getting eliminated first round. The Vikings, like I said, they're going to get eliminated first round if they make it. New Orleans Saints, they could win a wild card game, but they're out of the second round. The Atlanta Falcons, no. Tampa Bay Bucks, no. Carolina Panthers, no. Seattle Seahawks, no. Arizona Cardinals, hell no. The Rams, I don't see it, no. And the 49ers are the other team that can go back to the Super Bowl. So overall, the only 2 teams that I really have are the Eagles and the 49ers. So basically, the Chiefs versus either the Eagles or the 49ers is what I got going on. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Giants slip in. Hopefully, the Jets slip in. I would obviously, you guys know I would love that. But Knife says, why did the Patriots sign Zeke? They drafted Cole Strange, and he's really good. They're set at center. I don't know, bro. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm looking at it, and it's like it's worse than the Jets' decision because it's like you already have a running back depth, and I already explained it before. It's questionable, but we'll see how that works out. And plus, Ezekiel Elliott in a Patriots jersey, that's going to look strange after he's been so many years with the Cowboys. But he said, Knife says, dude, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I just want my Lions to go 10-7 and get a playoff win. Then let's build even more. Fair enough, bro. I respect that. After years, I can relate to this because as a New York fan, after years of misery, you get a positive moment. You just want to like, hey, we'll just make the playoffs first. Like, as long as we make the playoffs, that's it. And we'll go from there. I respect that. But overall, I'm going back on Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is washed. Will he rush for 1,000 yards? Maybe, barely, maybe he'll get 1,000 yards. If not, probably 900 yards, 800, around that area. But it's not going to be anything to monumentally change the Patriots in terms of their positioning. They're going to make them Super Bowl contenders. That's just a drag. They're probably, after this, probably get a guaranteed 1 or 2 more wins. And that's it. But that's all I got for the running back core in the NFL. Yeah, man, it's a little crazy. The NFC East is going off in the last hour with 2 top running backs in their previous time. 2 top running backs going to the AFC. So it's very interesting to see how that plays out. Now we'll just see if Buffalo Bills follow in the footsteps to keep up. But I do want to move on into one thing. I want to talk about a little bit of NBA real quick, and it's about Mr. James Harden. But before we do, we got a comment. Knife says, if we get a playoff win this year, you will see me cry. Bro, I respect that. Because that was me last year with the Jets. I really thought that this team with like a top 3 defense in the NFL, I really thought they were going to make the playoffs. And people, you can look back at previous episodes. I've said it on the podcast. I said I would be happy if the Jets just make the playoffs. After 12, 13 years of missing the playoffs, having the longest active non-playoff drought in all of sports. It's just very frustrating to go in every single year and see a team watching a game and knowing you're going to lose. It just sucks. So I respect that, Knives, because, I was hoping that last year, but I think this year will happen for you, Knives. I will give you that. Lions will go and get a playoff win. So let's see what happens. But I don't know if you guys heard about this, but James Harden situation, I think we got to talk about it a little bit because James Harden is being a baby again. Oh, wow. Brother, this guy stinks. James freaking Harden. Oh, I can write a book about James Harden, how many times he's disappointed me. And if anyone doesn't know who I root for in NBA, I root for the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. So as I'm mentioning James Harden and the misery he gave us, I'm talking about the Brooklyn Nets situation and those years. I think it was that year that we had him. But without further ado, let's go into the more present time when James Harden made some comments on Daryl Morey, GM of the 76ers. And if anyone didn't know, James Harden accepted his player exception, his player option. So he's getting $35 million a year this season. But he's had some complaints and showed some distress in the organization in terms of not getting a deal and him wanting to be traded. James Harden has been saying this for 2-3 weeks that he's requested a trade. He wants to get traded to the Clippers, and nothing has come to it. Overall, before I get into the comments that James Harden says, guys, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Will James Harden get traded before the start of the season or at any time during the season? Or is this just one of those things where James Harden's being a diva again? Because if I do say so myself, I do think James Harden is being a big diva right now, and I hate it because I've seen it on Brooklyn. But let me just pull up the comment that James Harden said. Yeah, right here. James Harden said, and I repeat, I quote, Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me repeat that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he is a part of. End quote. James Harden, is he being a baby or is he being factual? Now, I don't know if you guys know the reference, Boy Who Cried Wolf. I think everyone's know that reference. Fool me once, shame on you, just all those references. It's just how many times are we gonna look in a situation and be like, hey, James, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the problem in terms of off the field issues or off the court issues. Because right now, in terms of the Brooklyn situation. He wanted to leave Brooklyn when they had a great situation going because Kyrie Irving, I know because of the Kyrie Irving not playing that many games. It's like, dude, play with the team, get the fans a victory. KD's going to come back soon. Like, build that team up and be loyal to a team. But overall, James Harden couldn't do that, and he had to go to the Philly cheesesteaks in Philly. And right now, he's complaining about their situation too. And right now, Philly looks like a disaster too because we don't know if Joel Embiid's going to stay. There's been speculations of him getting traded. James Harden not showing up to camp, and now him saying that Daryl Morey is a liar, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's just so much drama, unnecessary drama for a team. So much drama for a team that doesn't need it, a fan base that doesn't need it. And like, okay, let me explain this a little bit better. The 76ers have so much expectations on them every single year, at least since they got James Harden, to win a championship. Joel Embiid has so much expectations to win a championship. He already won an MVP. Now he's got to win an NBA championship. Right now, the last thing you need for this team after years of disappointment is more drama into the system. They already had Ben Simmons drama, and that ruined the whole thing. And now they got James Harden drama. The amount of drama coming out of Philly is insane. So if I'm a Philly fan, I would be absolutely disgusted with the situation. And also the fact that I'd be kind of pissed off. Like, this is like, it keeps on happening. Like, we have so much pressure as it is by ourselves to win a championship, let alone you adding more pressure to the situation. It's like, stop it. Like, you're adding more fuel to the fire. And like right now, we're going to burn down the house. Like, that's the situation I feel like Philly is in right now. But guys, what do you guys think about that? Nye says James Harden needs to sit his happy behind down. Sir, nobody cares that you don't get to go to LA. You're making people in Philly go, we gave up Ben Simmons for this headache. Not a good look, James. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. W take from Knives. I really like that because that's the situation we're looking at. Joel Embiid, his nickname is trust the process. Ever since they got Joel Embiid, they're like, all right, we can grow that. This guy can be something. And once he got to that level, the MVP caliber, it's like we can actually win a championship. Like, there was hope. And the fact is that every situation, every Robin that came to Joel Embiid's Batman has been a Robin that's like secretly a villain because it's like sabotaging the whole situation. And like with the Ben Simmons and his whole drama, oh, my back, whatever the hell that was. I still don't get. I don't even know why he's on the Brooklyn Nets to be real as a Brooklyn Nets fan. But that was drama that was unnecessary. And that team could have done something. And now with the James Harden situation, this team could have done something. And the fact is that James Harden is complaining and not training with his team. It's insane, guys. It's insane. Nye says, also, I like to write long messages that David has to read to challenge his undiagnosed dyslexia. Bro, I appreciate that. I just made a comment about that before. But I really do think it's undiagnosed because I think, you know what I think it is, guys? I think I get so excited to read the message that my eyes just jump from one area to another that I miss some words. And then, like, it just happens. But I don't know. Thanks, Knives. I appreciate that. But James Harden, and the question that everyone wants to know, will James Harden be traded? I mean, he requested a trade, about 3 weeks ago? I don't know when the hell it was. I lost track. So if I'm looking at it right now, the season starts in October. We got about another, 2 months? Damn. And my birthday's in October. Round of applause to me. I'm plugging myself real quick. 2 more months until my birthday and 2 more months until the NBA starts. The fact is that if Damian Lillard hasn't been traded yet, and that looked like the most reasonable trade to be done, I don't think James Harden's going to be traded. I'm going to be real honest to you. Unless, there's a big if, unless James Harden gets to a point where he is sitting out games, then he gets traded. Because at that point, you're paying a dude $35 million to sit on the bench? What is this, Zion? Like, overall, the situation's it's unfair to the fans, unfair to the organization. So do I think he's going to get traded during the offseason? No, I don't think so. But will he get traded at the start of the season or at some point in the season if he's sitting out games? I do stand by that statement because at that point, it's just a cap space taken up. And also, like, if you can get a draft pick or two and a player in return, I'd rather have that player that wants to play for Philly than a player that doesn't. And get rid of that massive contract. I think that would help out a lot. But I think the question is, I just thought about this right now. If James Harden leaves Philly, do you think Joel Embiid leaves with him too? I want to hear your thoughts on that because it's very interesting because we've been hearing that Joel Embiid obviously wants to win a championship and yada yada yada. I mean, who doesn't want to win a championship, right? But he's already got the MVP. He's striving to win a championship. He's in situations where the team is good enough to win a championship or they're contenders and they fall short every single year. I think it's going to get to a point. I think if James Harden gets out of here, and especially like a dirty situation like this is now, I think Joel Embiid's going to leave. I don't know when his contract expires exactly, but either he will leave in free agency whenever his contract's up, or he will be traded because of the fact it's like it gets to a point where it's like I can't be in this drama-infested area, and also like an area that like I have so much expectations and no one's there to help me. So overall, yeah, I think Joel Embiid is going to get out of there, but James Harden will not be traded before the start of the season. Might get traded during the season if he doesn't play and if he sits out. Oh yeah, but also I had another question that said, am I on James Harden's side? Hell no. Because I have PTSD back from Brooklyn days where he would sit out games because of like undiagnosed injuries and just rust. Like, especially when he requested a trade, he wouldn't even be playing. And also he was getting pissed off at Kyrie Irving, even though his whole situation, I understand the whole situation of Kyrie Irving. And the fact is like, oh, he's not playing. Like, oh, I don't want to be on this team. Like, dude, you didn't wait out anything. You didn't wait out anything. You're like... You're like the fat kid in line that's like, oh, I wanted my candy first because the fact is like I want it now. Like that's what literally James Harden does. Instead of waiting and building up a patience and a relationship with the team, relationship with the community, you literally just like win. I want to win, and you end up losing. It goes back to the quotes. If you're chasing like the glory every single time, or like if you're chasing that one thing, and like I just brain farted. But if you're trading that, if you're looking for that one thing, you're always gonna fall flat because you're gonna miss out on everything behind you. If you're always focused on one thing, you're gonna miss everything that's around you. And I feel like this is a James Harden situation because guess what? If you fall short on that one thing, you're gonna be like, "What did I just do? Like, what's the point of this?" Like, if that made sense, guys, because it's the journey, not the destination. I don't know if you ever heard that quote, but. Yeah, I'm not taking James Harden's side on this one. It's been too many times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. No, it's fool me once. Fool me once. How's it go, guys? Fool me once, shame on me. No, yeah. No, fool me once, shame on you. There you go. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like, or shame on you. I don't know. What the hell? Well, you know what? Farts. Yeah, whatever. I'll take some booze on that one. I deserve it. But now it says, when James Harden gets traded, can it be a 3 or 4 team trade where Detroit offers anyone the pirate, please? You really just guys, I know you agree with me on this one. I've been saying it all the time. Just literally just drop him. Like, he does no asset to your team at all. So like, I think teams don't even want to trade for him because he's that bad. So I think he's going to be stuck on your team. But if I'm Philly, I'm just dropping him. Get another roster spot. Because the most you're getting out of him in terms of player value is probably $500,000 cash. No, that's a drag, but maybe a second-round pick. Now it says, if Joel Embiid leaves, the only option is a sign and trade. Joel Embiid for Aiden and Bradley Beal. Welcome to Phoenix, baby. Ooh, interesting. Just hear about that. I don't know how realistic this would work in terms of money and salary, but if in a utopian world where everything works out, Joel Embiid sign and trade for Aiden and Bradley Beal. Aiden, Joel Embiid play the same position, so that for the Phoenix Suns, they're getting a better superstar and MVP type caliber player. And then they get rid of Bradley Beal, who honestly is getting old. So like, I don't know how good he is anymore. So overall, I think that's a W trade for the Phoenix Suns and a W signing. But overall, it goes back to the statement is like, do they have enough depth to make it to the big game? And that's still a question up for air. But it's also one of those questions where you're looking at it like Joel Embiid needs the ball in his hands to be effective. Like, it's that simple. Devin Booker, same thing. Kevin Durant, same thing. So I think it's like another rabbit hole where they're going to be stuck in the same situation where all these superstars need the ball in their hands to perform. Like, if you look at the Denver Nuggets and why they were so successful, is that their best player on the team, he's not on the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, their best player on the team, Nikola Jokic, didn't, obviously he needed the ball in his hands, but he would always contribute and play make to his other teammates, get them involved. And I think having a playmaker on your team is so crucial in today's game specifically because it opens up the floor so much. And I think when you look at teams like the Phoenix Suns, specifically going to this year, they are lacking a playmaker. I know Devin Booker has shown signs of being a playmaker, but overall, he's not a true playmaker. But we'll see how he takes a step this year. He could potentially take that role, but we'll see what happens. But Nye says it goes who laughs last, who laughs. He goes, it goes, he who laughs last, laughs last. I don't know. I think I just had a brain aneurysm reading that. I don't know if that was me reading it or like I don't know if you guys understood that. He who laughs last laughs last. Damn. All I'm gonna say is I gotta get my brain ready, because if that made sense, I gotta get my brain ready for school, because I got that in about 2 weeks. And if I'm going into it like this, I'm gonna be freaking screwed. Damn. Oh my gosh. It's all right. Let's see what happens. Oh, James Harden. So to end it off, James Harden, I'm sorry, you're a great player, but in terms of your attitude, a lot of problems, dude. A lot of problems. James Harden likes to be self-centered in terms of just watching his actions off the court from an outsider's perspective. That's what I see, is this self-centered. And as a team sport, you cannot be a self-centered person. Just from experience in playing with team sports, I played with a lot of people that are self-centered, and it tends to break down the chemistry of the team. I can't imagine that at the professional level. So let alone, that's my thoughts on that. I mean, you hear a lot of coaches just say in general that they would rather, if a guy's having too much issues off the court, it's not even, and he's like really good, but he has too much issues off the court. It gets to a point, it's like, you're not even worth it because of the drama and the stuff you're putting onto our team. And I think that's the James Harden situation with Philly. But enough being said of that. I do want to discuss something real quick. It's about the Premier League, and I want to discuss it real quick in terms of the games that happened over the weekend. Because anyone didn't know, the Premier League, it was their first weekend of games in the Prem. So basically, Premier League starting, and these are the first games of the weekend. And I'm going to go through everything in a single game. Quick little recap, little of analysis. So if you love footy, give a little like to this podcast, this stream right now. Also, in general, if you're enjoying the content right now, make sure you drop the like right now on Twitch or YouTube, wherever the hell you guys are watching from. But we appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in right now. But going into a little bit of Premier League. Yeah, baby. Starting off with Friday's game, August 11th, we had Man City go against Burnley. Honestly, I watched this game. Self-explanatory. Man City showing that, again, that they're favorites, that they're the best team in the Prem. 3-0. I know it's against Burnley, but overall, Haaland, another situation. He might break his own goal score record in back-to-back years. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But round of applause to the freaking Man City winning 3-0. They just look sharp as always. In Burnley's situation, relegation might be calling their name. But then again, they did versus the best team in the Prem, so we'll give them a break after week 1. Arsenal won 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. Kind of overall, in terms of just, I didn't watch this game, but just in terms of looking at the stats, only winning 2-1 against Nottingham Forest is a little concerning for Arsenal, especially when they added Declan Rice and so many key additions, and their talent is so good. But overall, only winning 2-1, I think, is a little bit of an issue in terms of this case. But overall, still a W for Arsenal. Could be a little bit better. Not Man City W, but it's still it's a W for Arsenal. But in terms of Nottingham Forest, I mean, it's all right. It's okay. You know, you versed the top team. You weren't expected to win this. So overall, with that being said, it was a good game for them. Bournemouth versus West Ham. Shout out to Eric and his West Ham for this. They tied 1-1 in their showing. And they allowed a late goal in the 82nd minute to tie the game. West Ham did. They allowed an 82nd minute goal from Bournemouth. Overall, they tied. I think for both sides, it's like, all right, cool, good. In terms of Brighton, they won 4-1 against Luton Town. I think it's Luton Town. Yeah, Luton Town. They won 4-1 against Luton Town. Pretty much expected from Brighton. Brighton looks very good this year. But Luton, honestly, they scored their first goal ever in the Premier League. So got to give them a round of applause for that in team history. But pretty much expected. Luton, I think they're going to get relegated again. And Brighton looks really good. So round of applause for Brighton. Luton, I'm sorry, round of applause for you too, because it's your first time in the Prem. and you scored a goal. So there you go. Fulham beat Everton 1-0. Like I've been saying, I told you guys last episode, I don't like Everton. I think they're going to get relegated. I just don't see the talent there, and I think Fulham won't get relegated. With that being said, Fulham won 1-0. So round of applause for Fulham. They got 3 points. But overall, for Everton, because that was showing their true colors. Now we got 2 more games on Saturday. It was Crystal Palace winning 1-0 against Sheffield United. Overall, great W by Crystal Palace. And, obviously Sheffield United, another team that's going to be battling relegation, in my opinion. And Newcastle beats Aston Villa 5-1. Newcastle, W in the chat. W in the chat. I had my doubts on Newcastle last episode. I didn't like in terms of when we were ranking them and how they would finish by the end of the season. I was arguing with Eric. I'm like, they lost Maximum. Like, they lost Saint Maximum. Like, he's gonna be a big part of them. But overall, this team showed out and they scored 5 goals. Their offense was great, and they only allowed 1. So overall, W for Newcastle. They're gonna do better than I expected. But overall, they're gonna be finishing in like the top, at least the top 6, top 5. And also Aston Villa, another team that we had, I think it's 7th or 6th in Europa Conference League. That was kind of sad. It was not even a competition. Very disappointing for Aston Villa. So we'll see if they can turn that around. Now going on Sunday, the 13th, we had literally yesterday. We had 2 games. We had Brentford versus Tottenham. 2-2 they tied, and this was their first game for Tottenham without Harry Kane. So overall, they tied 2-2. They got 1 point. I think for both teams, I think it was like overall. I really think this is an like Brentford could have won. Spurs could have won. They both have talent to beat each other, but they just tied. They settled. And also another game that tied, Chelsea versus Liverpool. 1-1 they tied. And also, Luis Diaz scored a goal for Liverpool. So he's starting off strong for them this season. And overall, they tied. And it's looking a little bit better than last year in Chelsea and Liverpool too, because this was a really good game, in my opinion. But Chelsea looks a little bit better. And Liverpool, they're looking a little better than last year. So 2 teams that had off seasons are looking better this year. So I guess that's a W for them, even though they both got 1 point. They shared it. And today's game was Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Manchester United won 1-0. Overall, watching this game, Man United missed a lot of opportunities. But Wolves, they were dangerous on the attack as well. So it was very evenly matched. The possession was 51-49 in favor of Manchester United. And Wolves had more shots on target. Oh, my gosh. My camera's heating up. Obviously, right? We got to get some. There's always got to be something to go on. Let's see. Let's see if it works now. Let's go. All right, let's see how long this lasts. I think I'm back up. Nope. Am I back up? Yeah, I'm back up. Okay. But overall, going back on this game, like this is a game that the Wolverhampton Wanderers should have won. Manchester United could have won too, and they did, obviously. But overall, looking at it, very disappointing for Manchester United. I'm talking about a team that had one of their best seasons last year in a while, and to put a performance of only 1-0 against a Wolverhampton Wanderers team, very, very shocking, very disappointing. And there's also some speculation and some some speculations in this game too. The penalty should have been given to the Wolverhampton Wanderers. A lot of speculation, and also for the Wolves. I've been saying it. Eric said that they might get relegated this year. I don't think so. I think this was a positive performance for them. They showed that they can play very well together as a team, and overall, I think it's a positive for the Wolves. I think it's a positive for the Wolves, and even though Manchester United got the victory, I'm still a little not favoring it. These are 2 of my favorite teams in the Prem, and I'm gonna give you my actual non-biased opinion. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's your recap on the Premier League. If I'm going to do a quick little next week, week 2, matchups are going to happen. Nottingham Forest going to go against Sheffield United on Friday, the 18th. On Saturday, what time? 2:45 p.m. Oh, nice. On Saturday, we got Tottenham versus Manchester United, Fulham versus Brentford, Liverpool versus Bournemouth, Wolves versus Brighton, Luton versus Burnley, but unfortunately got postponed, so we'll see when that next date is. And Man City versus Newcastle. And on Sunday, we got Aston Villa, Everton, and then also West Ham versus Chelsea. And then on Monday, we got Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. The game of the week, in my opinion, though, to watch out for is honestly Man City versus Newcastle. Because Newcastle, they showed out and scored 5 goals against Aston Villa. And I want to see how they verse against a top team and the best team. Because if Newcastle's putting up a 1-0, if they lose 1-0 or if they win, we're looking at a team where Newcastle might be competing for top 3. And that's scary. I want to see how they look in back-to-back weeks. But overall, with that being said, those are the Premier League standings, fixtures, and recap of last week and going into next week. But overall, guys, that is all I got for today's topics. If you don't mind, let's move on to some big deal, not a big deal. Woo! Let's do it. Big deal or not a big deal. Let me get my water break. Oh yeah, keep it coming. Big deal, not a big deal. Starting off strong. This is a fun one. I gotta pull this one up on Instagram because I saved it. Whew, where is it? Wait, give me a second, guys. I think you're gonna like this one. Oh, why did it pull up QR code? I hate. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad with technology. And we're gonna have to wrap this up real soon because my camera is being a bitch. And if you can't understand what I just said, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say it. But real quick, let's wrap up this big deal, not big deal, and get out of here before my camera blows up. Big deal, not big deal. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie The Blind Side. It's a very good movie, and I recommend it to everyone. But the guy that's based off from the true story, his name is Michael Orr, and I think he played offensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers and some other teams. But there's some drama behind it. I don't know if you guys heard it, but big deal, not big deal. I'm gonna read you what is happening. This is what I got off of JPA Football on Instagram. So shout out to them for this news. It said that Michael Orr says that his parents, Sean and Leia, I think, or Lay, and Trophy, I don't know how to pronounce Trophy, whatever their last name is, who took Orr into their home as a high school student, never actually adopted him, but used him as a plot to enrich themselves, according to ESPN. The petition says the couple tricked him into signing a document making them his conservators, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name. They were able to make millions in royalties off the movie while Orr got nothing. I have one question. Why is this only coming out now? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know when the hell the movie came out. Let's just be real. When did Blindside come out?
Here's what I found.
2009, guys. This is a 2009 movie. And the fact is, it's like, how did this only come out now? Like, shouldn't you said something back then? Like, people would have still made a big deal over it. Especially back then when the movie would have came out, I'd be like, this is totally fake. They've made so much drama. But the thing is, it's coming out now. It's a little suspect for me because I don't know who to believe. Michael Orr, a round of applause to him. He wasn't the best football athlete, but the story was tremendous. And overall, looking at it, it's like it gets to a point where it's like, is Michael Orr lying about the situation, or is the parents really douchebags? Like, I don't really know how to put this into perspective, but I will say that it is a big deal, and I'd like to see how this develops over the next couple of days because it's gonna be really interesting. And if this is true, right, what they're saying, then those people are absolutely scum because taking money and not giving him anything is kind of messed up. Not gonna lie, even though like they said they never adopted him. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts about that? But I'm gonna go big deal on that. That's very interesting to me. And also, have you ever watched the movie Blindside? Because if you haven't, I recommend. But going into the next one, I want to talk about it real quick, and it's going into oh yeah, here it is. A little bit of soccer, a little bit of football if you're into it. I saw a report. I mean, everyone's seen it, but it's saying that Neymar is set to join Al Hilal this year to play in the Saudi League. Oh my gosh. Another superstar going to the Saudi League. And Cristiano Ronaldo was right. He said, hey, we just need players. We need infrastructure. And so Saudi is like, you know what? Ronaldo, you got a point. Here's $20 billion. Play for us. Like, that's literally what they did. A big money scheme. And overall, now they got so many superstars. They're attracting so many big names to play in a league that has potential to be a great league. And I can't wait to see how it turns out because it's going to be very interesting. But Neymar is set to join Al Hilal. And there's a report going out for how much money he's going to earn on this contract. So it said Neymar Jr. will earn 450,000 euros a day playing for Al Hilal. So if we got to break this down into even more situation, his salary, he makes $4.80 per second, 288 euros per minute, 17,280 euros per hour, 414,720 euros a day, 2.9 million euros a week, 12.5 million euros a month, and 150 million euros a year. And his contract is $300 million for 2 years. Absolutely insane. Absolutely blasphemy, bro. What the hell? People getting so much money. And they're going to offer him crazy perks too. Al Hilal's going to offer crazy perks to Neymar. So basically a private plane at his disposal. So whenever he wants to go anywhere, they have a private plane for him. A huge house with staff. I mean, basically expected. An 80 million euro bonus for every time that the team wins. And $500,000 for every post or story that he puts in his social media that promotes Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry. If I'm getting $500,000 euros every time I post something about Saudi Arabia, I'm gonna be like posting it every single minute. Every minute, there's gonna be like 50 posts on my story, and be like, "Why are you posting so much about Saudi Arabia?" I'll be like, "Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching." Like you're telling me that Neymar's not gonna post at least 10 times a day. Like that's ridiculous if it's true. But regardless, the money's insane. I'm gonna go big deal because Neymar is such a tremendous talent, and the shame that he's going to Saudi League, but it's basically showing that his career is pretty much going to an end, and it's a shame because Neymar. I want to talk about this with Eric because I know Neymar is one of his favorite players, but Neymar is one of those situations where he was so good, and everyone knows that. Barcelona days, he was so good. Like the fact is that he got in his own way in terms of off-field situations and not taking stuff seriously, showing up late to practices. His commitment wasn't there. And overall, it just goes to show that when you look at the top players like Lionel Messi and Ronaldo, the one thing that separates them from everything else is the fact that, sure, they had talent like everyone else, but they were determined every single day in terms of training and getting to where they are now and being the best. So overall, some players don't have it. And I think if Neymar had that mentality that Ronaldo and Messi do, I think he could potentially, we would be talking about Neymar, Messi, and Ronaldo as one of the best players ever. But it's a shame, but he's still a tremendous talent. And Al Hilal is going to be very good. And this whole Saudi league is going to be very good because a lot of talented players go in there. So big deal on that one. And the last big deal, not big deal before we wrap up today's show. Big deal, not big deal. We got some more developing story on this. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely going to be talking about this next episode with Eric. But Wander Franco, I don't know if anyone heard about this, but Tampa Bay Rays player is being investigated by the MLB. Now, with that being said, investigated for what, guys? So I don't know if you guys heard, but he's after an alleged relationship with a 14-year-old girl. Hey, yo. Oh, just for anyone who doesn't know, I think Wander Franco was 22 years old. So he's Wander Franco's age.
Here's what I found.
Yeah, he's 22 years old, guys. 22 years old, and there's speculation saying that he's dating a 14, or he had a relationship with a 14-year-old girl. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, that's just weird to say. And I have a post that gets more insight on it, if you don't mind me pulling it up. I'm pulling it up right now, and it says, oh, wait, no, that's not it. Where is it? Did I even save it? I hope I did. Someone commented under the post, "Get ready to learn Japanese, buddy." But the Tampa Bay Rays have placed shortstop Wander Franco on the restricted list, which takes him off the roster and is in most cases unpaid. The league has launched an investigation into social media posts about Franco from Sunday. So, they're saying this is a statement saying that he has been shown on social media in terms of a relationship with a 14-year-old girl. The 14-year-old girl, I think, has come out and stated that they've been in a relationship or had some type of I don't know, relationship that they had. I got to read more into it. But the girl basically is saying this because of the fact that she didn't get any hush money. This is also another source I heard. She didn't get any money from him so she's gonna bash him out right now. So overall, I don't know what to think about this. This is definitely one of those stories that we're going to keep on talking about until it gets confirmed, who's going to get suspended or if this is a false accusation. But as of right now, off of the information that I know, this is a big deal, and this is very disgusting, to put it lightly. Very gross. So overall, Wander Franco, you might have just almost pretty much ruined your career off of just keep it in your pants. I'm being real. Or go after someone your own age. It's that simple. But overall, insane news. I never thought I would have to talk. I mean, you never know now in today's society, but it's weird that this is what's popping up. And the Braves are doing so good too. And the fact that they would lose Franco like this over something like stupid like this is insane. So it sucks for the team. And we'll see what happens. We'll get more developing stories on this. But as of right now, it's a big deal. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today's show. Quick little round of applause. I want to say thank you to everyone who has tuned into today's episode. You guys are the best. And quick little round of applause to every single one of you guys. And if you haven't done already, make sure you like this episode right now. And tune into Thursday's episode because we got more sports talking. We got preseason to talk about in the NFL. We got NBA offseason. James Harden situation might get more developing story, and also getting developing story on Wander Franco and the blind side because I like to discuss that. We talk about more about soccer and the Prem on Thursday. Neymar situation. So tune in onto Thursday, and I'm gonna bring up the Dalvin Cook situation on Thursday. So if you want to see Eric's reaction on Dalvin Cook going to the Jets, make sure you follow us, subscribe, and if you haven't followed us on Instagram and all our TikTok and all that stuff, make sure you follow us down below and subscribe so you don't miss an episode miss a next episode. And also make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the show to everyone that you know. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow us as well. And without further ado, guys, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys. A round of applause for you guys for tuning into tonight's episode. Without further ado, it's been your boy David, and we are out, ladies and gentlemen. See ya on